2, 1, and we are on the air, and we just... Post-game, post-semifinals.
So double post, because we finished 2 semifinals.
And the wild card.
And the wild card. We haven't seen you since we did a prediction show.
Yes.
I'm proud and happy to say I'm predicting right so far.
I mean, I don't care about your predictions. I'm just happy we have 2 World Series teams. And the date is August 22nd.
Let's run down the first semifinals. That didn't happen tonight.
So let's do the wild card first.
Oh, okay, sure.
Wild card. You and I both were not over here. Fire,
That's right.
Fire took on All In, and great bowl game they had. You want to get into the details?
I watched it from home, and I'd like to give a big shout out to Michael Savon Solomon and Teddy Ishak and A.B. Sacco.
Great on the call. I agree.
They all did a great job. It wasn't exactly Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen with Ron Darling, but it was a very close second. I enjoyed the broadcast.
Like John and Susan.
Oh, yeah, can't predict that. But it was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know how clean it was early on, from what I remember.
I'm going to pull up all the scores right now.
But it was 6-5 going into the last inning. Now, bear in mind, we talk about it all the time, it was a 9-inning game. So it was like a 6-5 game late, and then at the end, Fire pulled through, scored 4 or 5 runs, and the rest was history. Fire closed them out. All In at a very, very poor, weak ending to a season.
Yeah.
And frankly, my darling,
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they didn't deserve to be in the final.
I agree. So All In, they started out strong, and that team just came apart.
Yeah.
Joey Cohen was not himself. MC gave up captaincy. He played great, statistically.
Oh, he was a great player.
However, their team just was missing something. They were missing, I don't know, I felt like the guys like Carlos and guys like Loudon, guys like that were going to come up bigger than they usually do.
Loudon started the season, both seasons, YMSL too, hot as a pistol, and he ended cold as ice. So that was a problem.
Listen,
Carlos hit well, but again, the left side had
Max,
a little bit
don't
desire.
forget, it was a really close game. It went to extra innings.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. It was 10-5 final in extra innings.
We play a 9-inning wild card.
I'm sorry.
So it wasn't extra innings. We did play 9, but
I'm looking at the scores.
So it was 6-5 in the 7th and 8th, and then the Fire took it away.
Right, 10-5 final, and then Fire advanced to the semifinals to take on the number 1 seed.
When All In looked great early in the season, they looked like a force to be reckoned with, but their holes came up. I don't know. It just, Juber hit great all season. Carlos got on base, but Maurice didn't have the urgency. I think he was playing with plantar fasciitis. Avi Dweck.
He made a great play at first base on Nike.
Nike, a great play. Avi at third was a mixed bag. Haron Nooney at short. Maybe he's going to be a shortstop.
Listen, his offense was non-existent. That was the reason.
No problem.
And they were experimenting with their lineup late in the wild card. They had Loudon batting too. That didn't work out. And listen, their team, they weren't a World Series team. They weren't a championship team. And we thought early on they may be, and we were wrong.
So sometimes those 5 and 7 teams go on magic carpet rides. Like I said, they didn't deserve it, and that's why.
But all that did was set the stage for the Final Four. The Final Four. First, we had the matchup between the Baby Bombers and United We Stand.
Right now, the Baby Bombers, I don't know if they named their team the Baby Bombers because their pitcher was 15 years old. That might have been a happens to be. But Yitzhak Sutton, his first playoff games on the mound,
pitched really well.
He pitched fantastic to start. Coming out of a car straight from Massachusetts, sitting down guys, throwing heat, striking out Michael Milech and Soli Cohen. But he's a young guy.
You can't pin it on Yitz. He actually put his team in position to win the game almost because you have in the 7th inning the captain stepping to the plate, bases loaded. Everyone saw this clip. It went viral.
1 out.
Bases loaded, 1 out. A fly ball ties, and a deep fly ball could potentially win it.
Jojo Saruya was on second.
Right, and you have Hank DeWeck. He hits one of those little hot shot ground balls to the right side. Jack Barnathan made a gorgeous play, quick turn to second, on to first, double play.
Stephen Gindy threw it to first, and that was game 1.
It was a heartbreaking fashion loss for the Baby Bombers. However, you thought they were going to be dead in the water after that. And however, the next game was also an unbelievable game.
Walk-off game.
Walk-off, and it was a 3-2 lead for the Baby Bombers all the way to the last at-bat of the game. And stepping to the plate came, who was it? Avi Shemueli. And Avi Shemueli hit this little humpback liner.
So it was like a bouncer that JoJo Mamie, I've seen him make the play.
Listen, I think he was thinking, pick up the ball cleanly, touch second, throw to first. He looked up for a split second.
Early, a drop.
Went under his glove, scooted under. 2 runs came in to score, and all chaos ensued. Walk off. I don't think I remember, because you don't have last licks back-to-back games. 2 games ending on the last
Walk
at
off
bat.
tight, right? Last swing.
Last at bat, last swing,
Last
game
swing.
ended and the same team lost. So it's very difficult for that to happen.
Wild. So it was a game that was a sweep, but it felt like a game 3 because like both teams, when they get to their car, felt like we should have won. Obviously, one team did win, but the Baby Bombers are scratching their head. A lot of managerial questions on the young captain Hank Dweck. I think there was some position questioning plays,
Listen,
lineup questions.
Few standouts though. Vic Allahan played unreal. Made a diving play in left, made a diving play up the middle.
Vic Allahan might be the one player, God willing, comes back next year. He shoots higher in the draft.
100%. So and he's a rookie this year. So
Yeah.
really strong rookie crop we have this year. He's one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year. And listen, he played his heart out. A lot of guys in their team played well. Ori Adler.
Ori Adler's a great addition to the season, to the league, and played a great third all season. And he's a gamer. He's great. So yeah, their team had a lot. They were a fun team.
Listen, and
They
they,
were a fun
at
team.
the end of the day, they were 2 games that they lost in the semis. They could have won both games.
By
So
1 run. And missing Shimmy Cohen.
It hurt.
Yitzhafty was there to sub, but he's not on the team. And
he also
Shimmy-
on that play to center on that ground ball that went under JoJo Mamie's glove. If Yitzhafty comes up with that cleanly,
Right, it could be first and second.
Yeah, I don't think they're scoring over there, and that's
Yeah,
first
could
and
be.
second. So
So you never know. The subs sometimes hurt you, sometimes help. Yitz is a bright young star, but missing Shimmy's bat in the lineup maybe also may have hurt them. But again, a great season by the Baby Bombers. Nothing to keep their head down about.
no, because it's one of those types where they walked off losing in the semis, feeling like they should have won both games. So,
I think Melech put it right. He goes, Yitz Sutton is a great pitcher, but it's not his time.
not his time.
He's 15, it ain't his time. You learned, you saw, you have a lot to see in the league. I know you've been watching since you're 5 years old because you're after the games all the time. He did a great job this season. Hank did a pretty good job as captain for the most part.
He just couldn't come up big when the lights shine the brightest. And,
It hurts, it
and it's
hurts.
funny because we know Hank has the ability. He put the ball over the fence several times this year. Same with Allahan.
We're not even asking for that. Just hit a deep center.
Yeah, that's
field
what I'm saying. We
fly
know he
ball.
has the ability, and unfortunately, he came up small. And I know he wants to feed off of that and come back stronger next year. But let's see what happens.
It
But
hurts.
either way, the Baby Bombers, adios, and on to the World Series. Go
Yeah.
United we
I
stand.
feel bad. We were talking about the Baby Bombers more than the team that actually won, which was United We Stand. So, ongoing. Game 1, they won. The back of the lineup
Yeah.
got the game-winning RBI hit.
Yeah.
And they got on base and they got the hit.
Listen, when you
Game
have-
2, again, Avi
The
Shmueli.
captain said it best, Stephen Gindy. He said, when Avi Shmueli, your 12th round pick, is hitting like a 5th rounder, that's why they are where they
Yeah.
are. Joe Shalom making diving plays in left
Yes,
field, saving the
2
game.
great plays.
Like we saw Lee Safdie coming up big.
Jackie at third is playing unbelievable at third base. So their back end of the lineup guys are playing great defensively and offensively.
And how can we forget about Albert Cohen, the actual Rookie of the Year,
Well,
the
he's-
potential MVP?
Yeah, he's got a lot going for him, that little man, and he's playing unbelievably. So their team with Ralph on the mound, Yaakov Saruya playing well, but not playing out of his mind. If he takes that step up, man, that team is really good.
I want to say something here. We have Ralph Hannon on the mound, and we're going to get to the next matchup in a few. But, well, you know what? I'll park this thought for later after we get into the next
Yeah,
matchup.
now Ralph Hannon, just to give Ralph a little kudos, he's starting to hit again.
Yeah.
Ralph's
They
hitting the
need-
ball
they need
hard.
that bat.
Yeah, and he's hitting hard. So this lineup's a long lineup that Max Yedid, we'll get to that now. Fast forward to
Okay,
tonight's
now let's go to
matchup.
tonight's semifinal matchup. So we thought, how could we top the last semifinal matchup we had? And oh boy, tonight gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, we got a light show throughout the night.
Yeah.
There was lightning all around from the first pitch of the night, but we played through gorgeous weather. Game 1, it was.
Listen, there's no other way to put it. You really didn't see the first.
I didn't feel like I didn't miss any of the game.
However, it was Edmund Beta on the mound against Max Yedid, and if you ever had an ace versus an ace type of matchup, they were matching each other 0 for 0. It was a 1-0 game in the 6th inning, and guess what? Fire had a deficit of 1-0.
So when I pulled up, every person told me Edmund Beta is pitching unbelievable.
He was. I never saw someone with such pinpoint accuracy.
With speed.
Inside, outside, up, down, left, right. He really was, and throwing
With
hard,
speed.
like you said.
Yeah.
Down 1-0 was Fire. Stepping to the plate came Buka. He had a runner on, or sorry, two runners on, and he parked the ball down the right field line and hit a 2-run triple to give Fire a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
And that was a tremendous hit. And then what happened was Yankee Gutman
right.
ties it up with a sacrifice fly, and then coming up to the plate. And what inning was it?
Oh, you can't take away the beautiful job of the sacrifice fly.
Oh, it was a big
You know,
moment.
people
Big
don't
moment.
do it. He came through and he hit a deep fly to center. So that tied the game, and then what felt like hours and hours.
It was hours and hours.
What a game, but 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th
then
inning.
We had a 2-all game, and we were in the 11th inning.
So now, at that point, it wasn't only good defense. It wasn't only great pitching. It was good defense as well.
And everyone was into it.
Everybody's making the plays, and the room got quiet. And every at-bat made a difference. And lo and behold, the name you mentioned before came through again.
Well, let's first start with Ike Mavora. Led the inning off with a base hit.
That's
and
right.
then Buka stepped to the plate again, the star of game number 1, and came through.
This was still game number 1.
Oh, what talking? This is game number 1.
Okay.
Hit an RBI triple, so he was responsible for all 3 runs they
Left center
scored.
field, he crushed the ball.
Clocked it. And don't forget, he also pegged the runner out at third on a base hit to center field
That's right.
in a huge moment. So Buka, this game belonged to Buka. They ended up scoring another run on a sac RBI by the next batter by Pachotto. 4-2 game. Ended up being the final 4-2 in 11 innings.
So now, Maxi Deed, you could give him the game ball, you could give Buka the game ball. Goes either way.
I mean, I think you cut the ball in half on that point.
Maybe, because Max went 11 innings and he really pitched well. And now, I think everybody in the crowd all said it looks like a sweep. And the main reason is it looked as though the last 2 innings, Edmund Beta started to labor.
And he started losing it a little
His
bit.
arm looked like his sore. He started holding his arm a bit.
Flexing his
Yeah,
hand.
so he looked like he was uncomfortable. And right away, Fire came out and scored.
Yeah, they
2
came
runs.
out strong and highlighted by Aaron Enoch.
That's right. Aaron
who
Enoch
really stung the ball in the gap.
His shot before that was a nice hit, and he came through again. He looks like his real hits are to the right side.
Yeah, but listen, he came through, put him up 2-0 in the first inning,
Big.
set the tone, and that game
Went to 3-0.
it was 3-0. I'm looking at the box score right now. We had a 3-0 game all the way up until the 6th inning.
6th inning made it 3-2. So they came across Whamma. I got to give Ralph Whamma taking the captain job over here.
Yeah.
Because Al Sit is tanning naked in Italy as we speak. Something we don't want to picture. But
It's too late.
Whamma really rallied the troops. I was by the gate, by the bench.
He's got a
and he
future
got
ahead
the
of him as a
team.
captain.
He
He's
sure
good.
does. He's definitely captain material. He got that team rolling, and it seemed as though Fire was rushing themselves, maybe thinking rain is coming. Let's just get outs. And that Diamond in the Rough team showed some grit. Bloops, blasts, hits here, sacrifice here, sacrifice there. Before you know it, boom, it's 3-2.
Right.
And then something that we don't usually have happen.
Well, usually, I don't think it ever happened.
We made an agreement. The umpires announced it. If one side would have fought it, I guess we wouldn't have done it. But we said Fire just needs 3 outs to win this thing. We're going to let Diamond in the Rough get their at-bats. And if they do score, Fire will get 6 outs.
Well, it was a 3-0 game at the time, and Diamond in the Rough took advantage of that opportunity. They scored 2 runs, making it a 3-2 ball game. So it really changed the complexity of everything.
A little bit.
Then all of a sudden the rain, the sky opened up and the rain began to pour. And
Before you know it, everybody's in their cars.
yeah, and then we had to stop. And then all of a sudden, coming back out to try to win the game with 6 outs to play with in a 3-up ball game.
No, so it was 3-2 at that time. And that's when Whamma actually didn't get an at-bat all day.
Right, they had to break the
Came
slide.
up with a runner on second,
Yeah.
and he came through with the
Right.
line drive base hit.
It's a knuckling
And-
ball up the middle.
Yeah, I thought Soltal could have caught it.
Me too.
And Leo Seton hustled, dove home in the wet, muddy field.
Tied it
It
up at
looked like
3.
it looked like a movie, and he scored. It was a great sight. Whamma got thrown on at second by about a mile and a half, but game was all tied
We had
up.
a 3-all ball game, and now we're going to the 6th and 7th,
That's
and we
right.
have Fire with 2 back-to-back opportunities to win it.
Now this is something I'm curious. I wish Al Sit was on the mic right now, on the phone with us. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. David Sabaga's up. Now they didn't put him on, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like they intentionally walked.
Yeah, it looked like they put him on.
Yeah, like 4 really bad pitches. And I was surprised about that because now you're putting, after throwing 17 innings.
You know what's funny? They actually conferenced that at-bat, that mound visit right before the at-bat of Sabag, so it looks like they talked about that.
I guess, but I don't think Al Sit was on conference with them. But they ended up, and now, credit to Edmund Beta here. I know he walked Max to lose the game, but it was a 2-1 pitch, 2-2.
Yeah, let's go. So
3-2.
Maxi Deed had a great at-bat.
Maxi Deed fouled off 4 straight strikes.
And they were tough
And
pitches.
some of them were tough. So you bet the more you foul off, looking for a walk with the bases loaded, pressure's on that pitcher.
And by
He
the
threw
way,
a low pitch, close pitch.
It was
by the
pretty
way.
close, and
But it
Max
was
was
low.
halfway up the box.
Yeah.
Edmund knew it. Edmund just bowed his head
it was
down.
low, close pitch.
And again, a walk-off walk.
Walk-off walk.
To, not so climactic.
A little
but
anticlimactic. Not the way I would like to be.
however,
but-
Fire will take it nonetheless, and they're in the World Series taking on
so again,
the Stephen Gindy squad.
2 games. Again here, down to the final at bat,
Yeah.
and an extra inning game. It was a final at bat of 11 innings. So,
Right.
what 2 series do we have? And that brings us to
The World Series.
World Series.
We have United We Stand taking on Fire, the wild card winning Fire, mind you.
Wild card teams do have
have
some
magic.
good magic. Now this Ralph Hannon Maxi D thing, you got to be crazy not to bring it up.
So now that's what I was going to say before.
I know that's where you were going. There is a rivalry there.
For sure.
Over the years, I don't think it's that hot now. I think it dissipated from 2 years ago. But there's something there between Ralph Hannon and Maxi Deed. I think Maxi Deed does have the edge on Ralph in the history regarding the playoff matchup.
How many pitchers in this league have won multiple championships?
Very few, and Ralph Hannon's one of them.
Ralph, so now Maxi D can join that company.
That's right.
With a win, because he won a few years ago with GOAT.
Is Ralph the only one?
I mean, with High Cheese.
Yeah, is Ralph the only one?
Ralph won with Gonzaga.
I think he's the only one, and he won with the Angels.
The Angels.
No other pitcher
Yeah.
won twice. So Ralph is the only one to do it, and he has a chance to keep himself as the only one.
Yeah.
Now it's Ralph Hannon with a strong United We Stand team against Maxi Deed with a pesky, scrappy Fire squad.
Listen, it's very different ball clubs. You have one club that's built heavy offense, and when they get rolling, they're rolling. And their defense is also really good. It's actually what got them there, their defense.
I think the defense, their infield defense is fantastic.
And even their outfield, you have, like I said, Alco in center is great.
Right, no, Alcoa's in right, which is great. Soli's in center, very good. But I think their corners have been even better than Soli has. Soli's got a great arm, but I think their infield defense is really, really what's been the amazing thing
And
for
it doesn't
them.
hurt to have Melech behind the plate.
So I was talking to Melech. This is Melech's first time in the finals since Get Swifty.
Yep.
And
I
he's
think
hungry.
Ike Mavora as well.
That's right. They're very hungry. These guys,
And Reyes's?
Ray Esses, I don't remember his
I don't know, but a
last
lot
time.
of repeat faces from that.
from that year, and some of these guys haven't been there in the last couple of years. My original pick, I'm going to stand by because I want to go all the way with it.
United We Stand.
I picked United We Stand.
I mean-
I'm not as confident on the pick now. If it was against Diamond in the Rough, I would have liked it more. Maxi did in the finals with some of these veterans scares me.
So like you said,
But I'm still picking United We Stand.
my original pick was Diamond in the Rough, and that no longer is there. And just not just to pick against you, I like picking the wild card team. I like picking the hot team. And the way they looked tonight, they had fire. No pun intended. But they had that, that little gas going on. And it's going to be great games. That's no matter
Max is
what.
going to have a harder time.
Obviously, however, I am taking fire.
Okay.
And I think this series is going to 3.
Now, Diamond in the Rough, we saw them after the trade. We said, oh, their team is amazing. Their lineup is crazy deep. I don't know if it's that maybe it wasn't that good or Max really equalized them.
Yeah, but you have to give credit to Edmund Beta also. It was one of those nights where the pitching was just there.
The soft field, I'm not denying the pitchers are great. The soft field a lot of times helps to good defense.
Yeah, but the wet outfield could hurt you also.
Yeah, it goes both ways. So Ralph is benefited by a great defense behind him. This Fire team, Leo Pachotto at third
Listen,
today.
that's something you got to. It goes very understated. Leo Pachotto at third base is like a big difference maker on their team.
Now, is Ray going to go back to third?
I don't know.
Or are they going to keep their team like this? That's going to be a managerial question that they got to bring up. But this is fun. This is a fun World
Listen,
Series.
we play to get to this point.
Yes,
I mean, we're fortunate to have 2 sweeps in the semis for scheduling purposes. Now, there's potentially one more night for the season.
That's right. Now, big shout out to our umpiring crew tonight. They kept the games moving, even though it was extra inning games. Through this monsoon that went for 3 minutes, everybody got back on. They gathered their thoughts and got everybody in the field and continued the game.
Yeah.
Not easy. They were composed. Big shout out.
It also helps that both teams were so into it.
They were.
Because the
came right back.
matchups were really so intense.
Charles Sacker came back a little late after taking a shower. I don't know what happened, but he we got rained out.
JT took a shower at second base also.
He's not too happy. JT had a tough night because we didn't bring it up. Diamond in the Rough in the first game had a chance to have a runner out third and one out with Allen, Jamal, and JT coming up.
Yeah, and JT sent him home.
JT sent him home. He's got
and he
thrown
was
out.
dead to rights at the plate. Yeah.
Soltau credit. Soltau made one hell of a play. It was a ground ball, knuckling line drive grounder that went under Sabag's legs. Soltau from short center hustled, slid, picking up the ball almost in one motion. Made a great play to Shmuley Lewis, and he made the news again. Made the catch, made the tag.
Yes, I still think the star of the night was Buka,
He was.
along with Yedid. It was their night. They're the reason
That
why
was
Fire advanced.
Standout play by Soltau there.
sure.
JT was really upset at himself, demoted himself, made himself not coach third
Pulled
anymore.
himself out of the booth, the whole nine.
And then next game, the one inning he's in the field, he made a web gem on the first play.
He almost made another one, but bad throw.
And then he made a bad throw, and
It's
that
tough
made
with
it
the wet
second
ball
and third.
also, but
It
either
was.
way-
It was hard.
We have our World Series matchup. We're
Lot of
here.
fun. It's been a
now,
great
when are
season thus
when are we
far.
scheduling it? I'm not sure.
I'm imagining early next week, Monday, but let's see. We're going to talk to the teams. We'll see you guys. Good luck.